Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental, emotional, and spiritual health and coaching related paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We make something happen for your listening pleasure, and obviously, with my constantly changing schedule, it's not as often as I might like, but it is here. And with over 1,400 of these when I'm not here, there's certainly stuff you can check out. In any event, this is things that are best kept private as you begin to move forward. And certainly working through things doesn't mean you can't talk about different challenges you may be having. However, limiting who you talk to and how you talk about the challenges in your life can often be a super valuable lesson to learn so that you're not exposing any weaknesses or difficulties that you have with other people who may take advantage. The leveraging of your emotional state can be something that nearly any person can do at any given time, and a lot of us don't necessarily want to feel or acknowledge that that happens, but at the same time, it does. And when it does, it can be super problematic for a number of reasons for people who are trying to find a level of personal balance in that way. And so understanding how to connect with that and what to do and where to do and how to go in that direction is also super important. So the next kind of thing to look at with that is keeping family matters private. Look, a lot of times we come from difficult families, toxic families, sometimes downright abusive families, and the challenge is, unfortunately, the prevalence of family dysfunction and or the prevalence of families that are out of balance isn't something that the majority of our society is ready to deal with. And so that can become problematic because if you are dealing with family related challenges and someone doesn't believe you, you're actually going to create more trauma for yourself by being not believed than you are by kind of dealing with things in a more personal or direct way. Now, that doesn't mean you can't find a way to talk through your feelings, but doing so in a coaching, counseling, or mental and emotional health or spiritual health paradigm is far better than voicing all of those concerns to people who might have differing opinions about how you should handle your challenges and may not be as supportive as you need for them to be in order for you to feel good about whatever challenges exist in the way in which you're dealing with your daily life. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can open up to a small group of people. You could, but opening up to people is something you have to do carefully because sometimes people don't know how to be helpful. And if you're dealing with an individual who isn't particularly helpful or doesn't know how to be helpful in those types of situations, it can actually make things worse as opposed to better. The same thing can be said for friendship and romantic relationship challenges. Now, talking these things through is much more common in daily society and common mainly because people like to have someone to commiserate with and often someone to complain to, but having that doesn't necessarily mean it's good to have or that it's helpful to have or that it's something that at the end of the conversation, the venting session, whatever it is, that you're actually going to have value in that. Working through where you truly are and having someone reflect back to you how you could feel instead of the way you do feel. And also not letting emotions dominate the way that you are dealing with your life. Not to say don't have any emotions. Certainly emotions have value, but emotions are indicators. They are not the way in which a person is going to maximally benefit from kind of connecting with your life in a meaningful way. And so using a balance between logic and emotion is a advisable approach as opposed to using just emotions as a way to deal with whatever you've got going on. And so knowing how to connect in that manner is also super important, and not overextending yourself beyond what you can handle so that your decisions are made more from a I guess I'd say balanced way or a way that's healthy for you and smarter for you from an intellectual and emotional paradigm. And so knowing how to do that is a very valuable skill. And it's a skill that we often, not everybody, but many needs. Uh, that can be super super valuable there, and knowing how to connect with a meaningful and long term value there. And so, hopefully, this is connected in a manner which is beneficial to you. The next thing is kind of keeping your own personal secrets, knowing what your secrets are, the things that you're not willing to deal with, the things that you're not willing to go through, the things that you're not willing to identify. And so, connecting on a level of identifying the things that you need to be able to handle, and also the things that you are having difficulty handling is also super important, from in just strict numbers, as well as the way in which we can kind of identify what it is that we need in order to be able to act in accordance with what is there. Keeping your fears or the things that make you fearful apart from giving it to other people um, is also important there as well. And so, knowing how to identify the things that you could see someone using as a weakness against you is also important, even though it may not be something that you want to confront. So, hopefully, this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.